The history of Afrikaners in South Africa is a complex and often contentious narrative spanning over 350 years, marked by colonialism, conflict, racial segregation, and a struggle for identity. Their origins trace back to 1652, when the Dutch East India Company, VOC, established a refreshment station at the Cape of Good Hope under Jan van Riebeck. Early settlers were primarily Dutch, joined later by German immigrants and French Huguenot refugees fleeing religious persecution. These diverse European groups gradually coalesced, developing a distinct language, Afrikaans, which evolved from Dutch, and a unique cultural identity. They called themselves Boers, farmers, and later Afrikaners, Africans, to signify their roots in the African soil. Life at the Cape was characterized by expansion and conflict. As the Boers moved inland in search of fertile land for farming and grazing, they increasingly clashed with indigenous Khoisan and Bantu-speaking peoples over resources and territory. This expansion led to the development of a frontier society, where self-sufficiency and a strong Calvinist faith became defining characteristics. The Boers' interactions with indigenous populations also laid the groundwork for a deeply entrenched system of racial hierarchy and segregation, with Europeans at the top. The late 18th and early 19th centuries saw a significant shift with the British annexation of the Cape Colony in 1806. British rule, with its emphasis on Anglicization and the abolition of slavery in 1834, caused considerable resentment among the Boers. This discontent culminated in the Great Trek, 1835 to 1840s, a mass migration of thousands of Boers into the interior of South Africa, seeking to escape British control and establish independent republics where they could preserve their way of life. The Trekkers established the Orange Free State and the South African Republic, Transvaal, but their independence was short-lived. The discovery of diamonds in Kimberley in 1867 and gold on the Witwatersrand in 1886 brought immense wealth and renewed British imperial ambitions. This led to the First Anglo-Boer War, 1880-1881, which the Boers won, and the Second Anglo-Boer War, 1899-1902, a brutal conflict that resulted in a British victory and the incorporation of the Boer republics into the British Empire. The war had a devastating impact on the Afrikaner population, with many dying in concentration camps. Despite their military defeat, Afrikaners retained a strong sense of cultural and political identity. In 1910, the Union of South Africa was formed, uniting the former British colonies and Boer republics. Afrikaners, through their political parties, steadily gained influence. The National Party, founded in 1914, capitalized on Afrikaner nationalism and resentment of British influence. In 1948, the National Party came to power and implemented the policy of apartheid-apartness, a system of institutionalized racial segregation and discrimination that formalized and extended existing racial hierarchies. Apartheid classified all South Africans by race, white, black, colored, and Indian, and enforced strict segregation in all aspects of life, including residence, education, healthcare, and political participation. This period saw the systematic disenfranchisement and oppression of the black majority, leading to widespread international condemnation and internal resistance. The late 20th century witnessed increasing domestic and international pressure against apartheid. Sanctions, boycotts, and armed resistance from liberation movements like the African National Congress, ANC, ultimately led to the dismantling of apartheid in the early 1990s and the first democratic elections in 1994, which brought Nelson Mandela and the ANC to power. Since 1994, Afrikaners have navigated a new South Africa, grappling with their historical legacy and adapting to a multiracial democracy. While some have struggled with the loss of their former political power and the challenges of transformation, many have actively participated in building a new society. Afrikaner identity today is diverse and evolving, reflecting a community that is both proud of its heritage and confronting the complex truths of its past. The history of the Afrikaners remains an integral, though often contested, part of the broader South African narrative.